Hello, everyone. Welcome to my LinkedIn live show. This is Fanny Dunagan, and I'm coming to you via LinkedIn as well as Facebook. Thank you for tuning in, and let's see who is out there. Drop a note in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Introduce yourself, and let me know who is on. There, Cameron Toth. I want everyone to connect with Cameron because he has an amazing show. He's coming at us from Westchester, New York. I was just on his show this week, and he highlights a whole variety of business and industry experts, as well as content creators. So make sure you follow him on YouTube and tune into his show. Cameron, thank you for tuning in. We got Josh here. Yes, it's a cloudy and cold day in Dallas, Texas right now. We got Stephen from South Lake. Welcome, Stephen. Oh, gee. Oh my gosh, you're coming in quick. Hey, G, how's it going? Always great to see your happy face. Love it, love it. Mark Reynolds, welcome from Farmersville. Thank you for tuning in, Mark, as always. Hey, Lena, good to see you there from Houston. We got Sal. For those of you out there, Sal also has a great podcast called The Dope Experience. And so connect with Sal and follow along with his podcasts. So amazing. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday and stuffing yourself with turkey and ham and whatnot, and ready to kind of rock out this last month of 2020. And what a year it's been. So let's make the best out of December and go out with a full bang. And so, like I said, make sure you network with others in the comments, introduce yourself to each other, and connect with each other, and make it a whole networking, connecting activity there. This week's content tip of the week is all about execution. Okay. As you know, I give tons of content tips, tons of advice, tons of ideas for content creation. And now this week's advice is all about doing it. Just like Nike says, just do it. It's not enough to know things and to know the tips and know the advice, whether it's around job search or industry advice or content creation advice. You have to execute. So make sure that once you know something, try it out. If you get a content tip from me, try it out on LinkedIn, tag me, and let me know that you've applied a tip that I've shared. But make sure you execute, because knowledge is nothing without execution. So that is the quick tip of the week this week. Make sure you go out and just do it. Don't just learn it. Execute on the content tips that you've been learning. And I am super happy right now to be announcing our upcoming guest of today's show. We're going to talk all about how to build and serve a community. And I can't think of a better group of guys to be talking about this, because they have built an amazing show over the last 3 years. And man, I've watched them grow, and you're never going to meet better guys that serve and support the community like these people. So without further ado, let me introduce Mark Elder and Trevor Houston. And Foster is going to be joining us in just a sec, but they are the co-hosts of the Who You Know Job Networking Show, because it's not about what you know.
It's about who you know. who you know can make all the difference in your job search. So, okay, real quick, I was in the live chat here, and we got so many of our folks in here. It's amazing.
I know. You're
Wanda
like,
Chim,
blew
Lori
up.
Oken, we got Christine, we got Albert, what's up? Mitch Jacobs,
You
Carmilla,
blew it
Sal,
up.
what is up? Oh my gosh, these people are just
Lena,
amazing.
Josh, yes, you've brought all your followers over. Thank
Lena
you.
Stoots, Lena Stoots D,
Mike
what is going on?
Rochelle.
Man, we love y'all.
Love it. Oh, Yolanda. I got to shout out to Yolanda. Yolanda always tunes in, and I thank you, Yolanda. So appreciate your support. Christine, welcome. Oh, my throat is like all dry. welcome. So this week is all about you guys. You guys host this Who You Know Job Networking show. For those of you that don't know them, Trevor Houston, Mark Elder, and Foster Williams, who will join us in a little bit, they have built this weekly show that's every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central, all around helping job seekers and those in career transition. And they bring in all these experts and career coaches, resume writers, recruiters, everybody in the talent acquisition and recruiting fields, and also industry experts and business experts and authors I've seen on your show. And now like hundreds of people tune in every week to your show. So bravo, guys. Bravo. I am in awe. I bow down to you guys.
Well, and
amazing
I
job.
have to put this out there. Trevor is really the mastermind behind the network. He does, most of our market. I mean, he's kind of taking the lead on the vision for Who You Know. So he's really built this up to be what it is.
Wow. And Mark, tell us a little bit about how you kind of like came along. How has your career led you to serving job seekers?
Well, so I've always had a passion for helping people. I mean, Trevor makes fun of me sometimes because he's like, "Oh, Mark's like the nicest guy, right?" How could you?
You are.
But he is Mr. Nice Guy. He is totally the nicest guy on the planet. I can be a little edgy, but Mark, you can't get mad at Mark. That's the way he is.
And I think part of it is, my desire to help people, to serve, to be, to also be liked by people, right? I want to have a good relationship with anybody that I meet. And that kind of lent itself to, my career in sales and really helping people. And that's kind of where I started. But it really kind of morphed. So as we got into financial services,
breaking up a little, Mark.
Am I okay? As we got into financial services, it really evolved into the network, right? Networking with people, getting to know people, and identifying ways that we can help them protect and grow the things that matter to them most. And so through that, we happened upon the career transition networking groups. And Trevor had been out actually networking with a gentleman who had suggested South Lake Focus Group. And we were like, okay, we'll go check it out. And so we went and checked it out. And, we're walking in with our business cards and, getting ready to do some business networking. And lo and behold, everybody in the room was out of a job or helping those that were out of a job in their search. And so it blew our minds away. Like, we had no idea anything like this existed. From there, was referred over to Foster Williams at Frisco Connect. Went and were just flies on the wall for a little while.
Yeah, we just want to kind of see what the problems were and figure out what we could do to solve some problems. And we met. Literally, I still got some of these folders here. I'm going to show you. I won't get rid of them. Look at this.
That's history right there.
I don't know how many, like hundreds and hundreds and like probably close to 1,000 of these, where I would sit. Mark and I literally would sit down, across the table, face to face with a job seeker, and we would just ask them a bunch of questions. kind of like an informational interview. We wanted to figure out what their challenges were, what their struggles, what, how can we help? How can we figure out what can we do? It was always the same. It was always the same. The problem was always the same. It was visibility. It was being seen. It was getting noticed. They were in the black hole. It was always the same. It's still the same to this day. Right. And over time, we've, figured out even more ways to be able to solve that problem. But it's helping them to get noticed and get seen when they're just applying online. So
now, Trevor, from what I know of you, you started off doing sales, right? And then at a car dealership, that's where you met Mark.
Yep.
And then from there, you guys evolved to New York Life and now to radio show host.
Yeah, I sold Mark
How does that even
happen? Yeah, I sold Mark a car. I took him to the cleaners too. We went back and forth. We were negotiating. I had to take him. I had to bring him in, and I had to get him. You're muted, Mike. We can't hear you, Mark.
We can't hear you, Mark.
Call him Mike.
There you are.
Flip on the paper.
There you go.
Flip on the paper.
Yeah, your microphone's not good, Mark. Why don't you just pull the mic out and go off straight from the
computer? I'm trying. Yep.
Yeah. But how do you go from sales, Trevor, to financial professional and then to show host? Right?
Yeah,
what led you to all these different avenues?
Well, that's a God thing, but really it's like, so from automotive sales, when I was 22 years old, I was making over $150,000, crushing it in the auto game because I was the top producer there, right? And I didn't come from money. I knew that I had a responsibility with my money. I needed to be smart with it, but I didn't know anything I had no formal education with money, okay? And so I sought out advice. I sought out guidance, and my financial advisor, his name is Brian Craig. Shout out to Brian Craig. He is the one that eventually recruited me over to New York Life and Nightlife Security. So it started out, I was just doing really well. Was very successful at an early age. I knew I needed to do something. I sought out advice, got guidance, and then he tried to recruit me. And years later, I eventually just moved over to the financial services. And Mark was already there, actually. Mark was already there. And so I already knew Mark. I sold him a car. We already had a relationship. He rode Harleys. I ride Harleys. He's a Bears fan, but I won't hold that against him. So we just joined up, and it was good. He's
match made in heaven.
Yeah, he's strong in a lot of areas. Like, we complement each other. It's kind of like yin and yang. He's got more of the analytical side. I'm more of the marketing and sales.
Yeah.
And so we put that together, and it's awesome. We do really
Great
well. And then there's
ingredients
Foster
for a team. Yes, the job father. The job father. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Foster Williams, recruiter extraordinaire. We call him the job father. Everybody knows him in the career transition groups. Foster, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, everybody. I apologize that I'm late. We had a very, very unfortunate emergency that caught me out. And so thanks for letting me join and run in on you guys.
No, thank you. Tell us a bit about your background, Foster. How did you kind of end up in recruitment and then getting into this whole career search network groups and now a show host? Tell us about that journey.
I didn't even know what recruiting was when I first became a recruiter. Out of college, IBM thought I had a perfect personality to do this recruiting thing. And I got in there and I had a good time. And over years, I became a leader and it went global about 20 years ago. And, I had a good time and I was a subject matter expert. And then I had a completely massive brain aneurysm that pulled me out of corporate America. And as I recovered from what no one expected me to recover from, I was 3 days clinically dead at Plano Presbyterian Hospital.
I didn't know that.
I never told you that.
Mm-mm.
And so anyway, as time continued to move forward, I just did what I knew how to do, and that was help everybody get a job. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And then about 2006, we decided we needed to incorporate. We needed to build a website and have Graham Central Station for all the activity that was going on. And I was building groups across Dallas-Fort Worth. And then we started building groups in other states, and everybody needed to know how to get a job. You know what happened in 2008. You remember when 2008
Yes.
hit? And
Absolutely.
So myself, Rex Sowett, Gail Houston, a number of the really, really big
names.
Yeah, big names. I was blessed. Those guys let me hang out with them. So, that was pretty cool. And we built a network, and now, oh my goodness, Mark and Trevor come along at Frisco Connect, and we get an idea, and we say we're unapologetically Christian, and we and we move ahead with all these blessings that we have. And the network, then COVID hits. We had already grown to probably, thanks to the radio show, we had grown to probably well over 100,000 active job seekers just here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And then COVID hit, and I guarantee you it's added another 50,000-60,000.
Yeah.
And you hear the crazy numbers all over the United States, but we have a big, here in Dallas-Fort Worth, it's a big activity center. So
it is. It sure is.
Foster wouldn't talk to us at first. Well, he talked to us, but he initially he was a little kind of arm's length because he was seeing what we were about.
Yeah, we're financial guys, so he was like,
"Oh
man,
sell
me some insurance, right?"
That wanted to befriend me, and I was like, "Okay." But Trevor and Mark, there's certain things that just work. They're just the right things, Yeah. And Trevor was scared back then. Trevor, we couldn't get Trevor to say anything. Trevor would run out of the room and play like he's got to go to the restroom and stuff. And then Mark did most of the talking back then. And Mark is smooth as ice, man. I mean, that guy, And
I want to know how you guys came up with the title, the Who You Know Show. Okay, tell me the story around how you guys did that and why.
I think that was actually. No, I think that was. I'm going to give Mark the credit on that one. I think he said something about it's not what you know, it's who you know, and I think we had a conversation. I want to give Mark the credit on that. I think you came up with the name.
Yeah, we were talking early on, and we were at Frisco Connect, and we heard the story, testimonial after testimonial. People were bringing in donuts, landing, and they would talk about it not being their application or anything like that. It was through a connection. It was through who they knew. And so we were like, okay, well, if it's who you know that gets you landed, like we can help with that. And so that kind of became part of our mission statement, like who you know. And then as we started the radio show, we were like, what should we name? What should we name the show? And I'm like, what about who you know? And
so as soon as you said it, I was like, that's it. That is it. Who you know show.
Who ya know, not who
no.
That was really,
it was totally just a relationship build, because these guys started a workshop long before we had radio or anything like this, and it just kept growing. And I heard Dennis O'Hagan, unfortunately the late Dennis O'Hagan, says, Foster, if you build it, it'll take legs and run away with you. You'll be running to keep up with it. And that's where we are right now. Well, oh my goodness, the CSN is in 23 states.
Wow. CSN stands for Career Search Network, for those of you out there. Yes.
Well, and the key behind that is it's a servant heart. It's for service. It's for community outreach and impact. Like, we don't expect anything in return.
Yes.
Other than support, right? To help get the word out.
Absolutely.
And if that's the motive, then God will bless it, and He absolutely has done so.
Boy, He's done that in triplicate.
So, Trevor, I want you to think back to episode number 1.
I already got
it. Because right now, what episode are you on right now? All you guys.
240 something.
40. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's rewind. Let's tell the folks episode 1. What was going through all your heads? And
Chaos.
Walk us through that and the setup for that. Was that the radio show or?
Tell us about that.
Actually, KBGI radio.
Yep.
Yeah, and so not where we're at now. It's a different location. It was with Mark Warner. He owns that studio, and we had Jane Ryan as our first guest.
Ryan, yes.
Ryan. And so Jane Ryan's a lot like me in the fact that, like, I'm very processed. I want to have everything organized and structured, and like I want to know. And so I had like written out the formula. Like I had this vision. I'm like, I'm writing it out. I go, I know where we're gonna go with this thing, and had it all mapped out. Of course, it didn't go that way, and it was so scripted. Right. It was so scripted that Mark Warner, the owner of the studio, was like, "Hey, that was bad."
Yeah.
He kind of told us. I think the word he used was dry.
He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That was kind of dry," but he didn't want to be mean because it was our first show, right? And so he was like, "Yeah, it was kind of dry." And me and Jane Ryan got in a little.
Oh, and I did not know that. Yeah, we all love her.
Yep, and I love Jane, and she knows that. But we did. Yeah. We got in a little headbutt because of just some semantics of the show. You know, she was wanting to do, and then I was wanting to do, and it was like, and so we got in a little head bash, and the first show was chaos.
So
and even before that, though, we had actually been invited to Melissa Walker's show.
Yeah.
She had a show, a career transition show at Fishbowl Networks down in Arlington. And that's kind of where we got the bug. She had invited Trevor and I. And
I had the bug before that. I've been watching this guy, and he doesn't know it, but there's a guy out there, Bob Johnson. He's got the Bob Johnson Mortgage Show. If anybody knows the Bob Mortgage Show, and I remember following this guy, and you can't get away from him. He's kind of like Gary Vee. He's on every channel. He's all over the place, and he's just like, you can't get away from him once you start following him. So I loved it, and I was like, okay, I had already been kind of like watching him. I'm like, how do I do what he's doing? This guy's crushing it, right? And then we got invited to Melissa Walker, and I was like, okay, cool. We got to go on the radio, and that solidified it. I was like, okay, we have to do this, Mark. And I told Mark we got to do it. And then naturally it was like, okay, I wanted another guest or another host. So we invited Foster. We're like, Foster, we want the job father, right?
I'm the old guy.
And Melissa Walker, I love Melissa too.
But why job search? Of all the topics, of all the things that you could be talking about, why did you have a show?
That's where we were serving. That's where we were serving. You know, that was our heart. And so, we wanted to give back in that space, and that's where it led.
Yeah. And tell us how you kind of evolved.
I've been a recruiter 35 years.
Yeah. And like Mark, tell us how you guys have kind of evolved from the radio show, and now you are in this gorgeous studios. So shout out to Jeff Crilly and his Real PR News studio.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But how did you kind of make that transition from radio to studio, Mark?
Well, we always were involved with video. Early on, Trevor was like one of the first, maybe the first or second person in DFW to get LinkedIn Live. And so we had been broadcasting on the radio podcast as well as LinkedIn Live for quite some time. The owner of the studio actually was going through a transition on his own, and he was very passionate about helping veterans. So there's an organization that he was going to go work with up in Michigan. And we'd had some kind of, thoughts about looking at other options for studio and broadcast. And that was the catalyst that just kind of pushed us over the tipping point to go out and look. And I can't remember, Trevor, you probably know, but we had gotten Jeff Crilly's information with Real News PR through a contact, through who you know. And we went down, and this was about a year before we actually started. We went down and looked at the studio, looked at his operation.
It was Casey Haston. We got invited to go on Casey Haston.
I finally met Casey too.
Yeah,
yes.
Casey.
You met Casey.
Casey Haston invited us to do the We Are VIP podcast. So we went on her show, and I was like, dang, this is some nice studios over here. And I like, night and day from where we were.
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing bad about KVGI, but this was just a whole nother level. I was like, whoa, hold up, this is nice. And so we'd already kind of had that seed planted, and then COVID amplified it and put a push to that because KVGI shut down their studio. Now they're still producing shows, but they're producing like StreamYards like this. They're like for Fanny, like if you were to do a StreamYard, you wouldn't be back behind the screen pushing all the buttons and doing all the things. They would produce it. They would produce it for you.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be in an actual studio. So they shut down their physical studio. So it was like, okay, we got to go over now. We got to go to Real News PR, which has been amazing. Real News PR has been awesome for us.
They are. Love Jeff Crilly. Now, Foster, you guys are on over 200 shows. I mean, doesn't it get to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, another week, another show. What are we going to talk about? Or do you ever feel that sense of like, how do you maintain that kind of consistency and persistence when doing shows?
For me, it's a calling, and I love it. I can't get enough of it, actually. I'm surprised myself that it doesn't wear me out. So in the middle of the day, I'm running, trying to get stuff done. And then when you have an emergency, like I had a while ago, you get caught out sometimes because you are on many, many shows. I'm speaking in New York and Idaho, believe it or not, in different places, trying to make community contacts. They call me a conduit. They call me that before you guys call me Job Father. And that's what I do. I am a conduit. And I put people together. It's not always the X's and O's of job search. Sometimes it's personality types. When Fanny and I first met, there were a number of things and crazy ideas that I had, and Fanny and myself and the
we did job fairs together.
We did. Yeah. And if you go ahead, move forward with what God gave you, you'll be surprised what happens.
Love it. Mark, what keeps you motivated week after week? In your third year now, right? Like, how do you maintain that kind of consistency and persistence for the audience members that maybe want to start a show and keep it going for all these years? What motivates you?
Well, it's the testimonials, right? It is the testimonials week after week.
Like Lena's. Look at Lena's remark.
Yeah, like Lena. Yeah,
that's kept me moving forward when I was as low as possible.
That's exactly it. And we've had people that they're not with us anymore, unfortunately, right? And people that have gone through just the ringer, right, to hell and back through this transition, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and so every time somebody lands and we get to celebrate with them, that's like another boost. That's just another boost to keep on going.
I love it. And for those of you in the audience, for those of you in the audience that have been impacted and inspired by these guys, drop a comment in there and share how they have inspired and motivated you as well on your job search. I would love to see that, and we would love to feature that.
There are people like Lena Stutz and Patty Bashy and people all around the United States that we meet that just kind of float to the top, and they find themselves in different businesses and things. And, and Trevor does an awesome job of showing folks how to brand themselves with video, because, hey, we all know that's where we're going. Every time we turn on LinkedIn, that's what you see, right?
Yeah.
So, hey.
Well, for me, it's like, it's not necessarily about the landing is obviously the icing on the cake. But here's what I know for all you job seekers listening right now, you're all going to land. Right? So I'm going to get to do one of these for each and every one of you. Okay. That's going to happen.
Love it.
What really gets me going, it's not the landing. The landing's great. But guess what? We get those all the time. It's when people come back and they say, man, I came through this and you gave me hope. Like I feel like lifted up, like you inspired me, you encouraged me. I didn't feel like I could move forward. And now I feel like the light bulbs start turning on in my head. That if I can get people to do that all the time and get those people lifted up, because you're all going to land. It's just a matter of time,
Absolutely. Anyway. Absolutely. So if you were to give advice, because I know there's people that tuned in this week to get some advice on how to kind of grow a following, how to create an engaged community and create a popular show, what would be kind of like your top advice? I'm going to ask each one of you. So I'll start with Trevor. What would be your number one advice to building this kind of community that you guys have and making such a popular show?
Okay, so the first thing is giving, right? You got to give back. You've got to add value. And originally, like if you think about it, I think you had asked us why job search, right? Like Mark and I were financial guys, right? So why not do a financial show?
Yeah.
Well, that's self-serving. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
That's not giving, that's taking, right?
Yep.
And ain't nobody got time for that. They don't want to come to that show, right? Like that's all I'm saying. And so if you think about it, like why job search? Well, because we're giving. It's about providing value, and if you're going to have an audience, they're going to have to want to come there, right? They got to want it, and so that for me, that's why. I mean, I would say give first, give back, add value. And the rest will start to happen. And consistency, it takes a little bit of time, but yeah, just give, and the rest will just happen.
Love it. What about you, Mark? What would
you?
Mic drop? I don't have a mic. I have a big mic here.
I don't have a mic on me.
Mark, what would be your top advice for someone out there trying to create a popular show and build a community?
Authenticity and genuineness, right? I mean, people can sniff out fakes, right? Yeah. People can sniff out people that are doing it for the wrong reason or ulterior motives. They can sense genuine relationships and authentic, right? Advice, whatever the segments are. I mean, I think that we're pretty real, right? We try to present ourselves as being real people.
Who you are on the show is who you are in person.
That's right. Like
I vouch for that. Yeah.
My dad jokes and my kids that I talk about, like that's me. And it's genuine. It is who I am. And same with Trevor, like when he talks about he is a little more cutting edge, or he's out and he's not there to make everybody happy and everybody like him, but he's there to be real. Yeah. And Foster with his zany comment and his squirrel moment.
We love it.
We love it. Yeah, it's all
the fifth power.
Yes, and so I think that's what helps. I mean, obviously having a purpose and intent, being very intentional and a goal to serve and to get information out to a specific segment of people. That's what you have to have. But on top of that, you have to be real.
Love it. And then what about you, Foster? What do you think is the top advice you give to someone starting a show?
The thing that I riddle everybody with, and Trevor laughed because that 4-syllable word, relationship. I build relationships as I go. I'm zany, whatever. But some people get along with me, Probably most
we love
people
you,
do.
Foster.
Well, everybody loves Fanny. You probably understand that, haven't you?
That's true.
Yeah. And I build these relationships. Here's the deal, guys. So if you have a relationship with somebody, you may have everything in the world. You may be a PhD in the thing, But hey, why am I going to hire you if I don't feel like I can get along with you? If I feel like you're a know-it-all and you won't share what you have, it's all about you. It's all about you. And that's what Trevor talks about all the time. Well, we build a relationship. What makes the difference? Every time is a relationship.
There you go, folks. If you want to build a show, number 1, give back and provide value. Number 2, authenticity and genuine relationships. Number 3, purpose and intention. And then number 4, build relationships.
Can I plug in on one last thing? Okay.
Please.
So number 1, where it's give back and add value. Because a lot of people are out here on LinkedIn, okay, and these little shows are popping up everywhere, okay.
Yes.
And I'm noticing something. Give back, add value that has nothing to do with your business. Take your business out of it. Get the self-serving out of it, okay. Get that out of there. Figure out a way to provide value that is in a way that can help your target audience, your target market, and provide so much value to them that just doesn't really, like, don't make it self-serving, and the rest will happen, right? It just does.
There you go.
It does.
Top
Hey,
5
Fanny,
advice. Help your target audience.
Help your target audience. Hey, Fanny, I've got a uniqueness between us three, and Mark is the man 50 grand with this one. Mark's got 3 boys, right? We infuse each other's family. We know, hey, Trevor gets his kids involved. Mark's boys. We're like family. I mean, we're like an extended family. We really are.
You are.
Yeah.
Brothers from different mothers.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and we bring all the elements, because I'm the millennial. You got Gen X, Mark's Gen X, and then you got
Gen X. And unfortunately, I'm
it's
baby
the perfect
boomer.
combination. You guys couldn't have planned it any better.
Yeah, we're very diverse. Okay.
Love it.
Diversity and inclusion. Okay, we are that. That is
You're just
what we
missing
are.
a female.
That's what we've been asking.
Female.
Wait a minute. Is this the first? Is this the first show?
You were asking what's new for 2021. Fanny and the Who You Know.
Oh.
That's right. And we've even got Julian Placino. We got a pretty good team here.
I love it. I love it. Now, you guys do job search tips week in, week out. I mean, it just comes out of you. You've heard all the top tips from recruiters, hiring managers, talent acquisition professionals. I'd love for you to share kind of like your do's and don'ts of job search. So maybe like one do, one don't from each of you, because we have tons of people that are still looking for jobs right now, and we want to really provide value for them. So Trevor, one do, one don't of job search.
One do and one don't. Okay, so the don't, let's go there first. Don't just hit connect. Don't do your research and look for the recruiters and just connect and send an email message. Okay, recruiters get thousands of those, and it's spammy to them. Just like when you get spammed and somebody spams your inbox, it's the same way for them. So don't do that. What you do want to do is provide value first, right? Give first. Go look at their all activity section on their profile. Okay. Find out if they're active, okay? Because if they're not active, then you're wasting your time. Find out if they're active on LinkedIn, and then go leave them a valuable comment. Leave them something that will get their attention in the comments section, right? Instead of their inbox, going directly at their inbox. Warm them up first, get them nice and warm, start to get those conversations going. We teach a strategy using video to do that, and then send them an email message or a connection request after you've already kind of started to get things going from the comments first.
Brilliant. What about you, Mark? What's a do and a don't?
All right, so I'm going to start with the do's. Do everything that everyone else is not doing, like differentiate, right? Do everything else that everybody is not doing.
Drop that mic, Trevor.
Drop it.
And here's what I mean by that. It could be, what have people stopped doing? People have stopped writing handwritten thank you notes. People have stopped, doing this or that. So find some of those things. What are people also not doing that they haven't started doing? Video, right? Using video in their approach, just all of the things that are going to differentiate yourself. So do all of those things. I mentioned my tip of the week yesterday on the show was wrap up, right? Get a little box, a nice little box, put your resume in it, put some, like some peppermint chocolates or whatever in that, and wrap it up, wrap it like a present and send it, right? And send it like a present. And so just find ways that you can, again, get yourself out of the everyday that everybody else is doing and get yourself noticed. Don't be a pest, right? So there's a lot of times where people they get somebody or they get this lead and they just
It's my precious.
My precious.
And it's like, it's one of those things where you need to create opportunity, and so much opportunity that the things that don't pan out are inconsequential, right?
Yeah.
Because this market is insatiable. There are so many places of opportunity, and it may not feel like that because you feel like, oh, I'm in this grind every day. But look, especially here in the DFW area, which most of us are here, right? Local.
Yes.
There is still so much opportunity there. You just have to have enough in the pipeline that the things that don't pan out don't matter.
We had like 30 something landings yesterday on the show.
Wow.
We shouted out like 35 people. It was insane.
Oh, so nice to hear such good news.
Yeah,
love that.
That was the most we had ever had, like 35 landings in like 1 week. So that's every week we do that. We give shout outs. It was like 35 new people just like that. Wow.
Love it. Foster, a do and a don't?
A do and a don't. Well, I was thinking of a couple of don'ts. Guys, here's what we do. We are doing this when we don't have a job. Number one, we turn it in on ourselves. A lot of times companies have they have a meeting and they decide, hey, we're going to cut people out of this department. And it's got nothing to do with our performance or anything like that. And we turn it in on ourselves. Now, when we do that, when we're interviewing guys, people can tell that, maybe that element that they're looking for is not quite there. And that element needs to be, I'm not going to hire you if you come in there looking kind of jacked up. So, but guys, do not turn it against yourselves. Keep moving forward, but use what God has given you in getting out there. Now, here is my do. Guys, get out amongst people. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world. Look at Foster. Get out amongst people and let the magic happen. I have personally formulated probably over 35 groups myself, just by myself.
You're a machine, Foster.
It's something wrong with me. But guys, if you get out, don't be timid. Get out. Even people that are not like gregarious, like Foster, Trevor, and Mark. We developed Trevor. Trevor hadn't always been gregarious. Maybe he has. But get out and allow yourself to get a blessing. You will meet somebody that you sync with. It just happens. Yeah. Frisco Connect, sometimes we have up to 100 people on Zoom. We're suffering with Zoom, but I like Zoom. I'm having a good time. I get all across the United States, but get out. That is the do. You're not by yourself. Trevor says that every show. Get out and give yourself an opportunity.
Yeah.
Commiserate.
If nothing else, engage with people in the comments, even, right?
Engage
the power
in the
of comments.
and do like this and go like that in the comments with your live video in the comments. You ever get Fanny, you ever get a comment that's a video with your name on it like this?
I love it. Yes.
Fanny's reaching for something.
I'm reaching.
So what we'll do is we'll get out, and guys, you know what we do? We want to overthink everything. Stop overthinking everything.
You.
What Fanny say? Who you know? That's
Who
right.
You know.
Some people, I can't help some people because they overthink everything. They ask me a question. I tell them, hey, I think you ought to check with this person. Oh, well, I know about that company. And that happened to me today. And I was like, okay.
I love it.
Hey, Foster, I noticed you didn't have a whiteboard, so I'm going to hand this one over to you. Hold on. Let me hand it over to me. Let me hand it over to you.
So there you go, folks.
Yeah.
Don't
when we're
spam
nervous because we don't have a job, we make bad choices when we're nervous. That pressure causes us to apply for a lot of jobs that we're not. You know darn well when you apply for that job, they're not going to call you about that job. Stop wasting your time doing it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to shut up. Y'all got me.
No, you're awesome. Don't spam recruiters. Do provide value. Do differentiate. Don't be a pest. And don't be timid. Do network. That's golden. You all, if I had more mics, I would be dropping them. It's a mic shower.
Yeah, a mic shower. I like that. Trevor, we gotta remember the mic shower.
Yeah.
Love it. Now, you also have interviewed, all kinds of great career resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some kind of like one-stop shop places or people or websites that you think would be, great career resources for people to check out?
Yeah.
I'll start with you, Mark.
Number one, careerdfw.org.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Careerdfw.org, careerusa.org. They're kind of one and the same or meshed. But that is hands down.
careerdfw.org and then
.org. Or careerusa.org.
Careerusa.org as well, yeah.
Yep. So those websites, careerdfw.org in particular, has all of the resources pretty much related to career transition in the DFW area, as well as throughout the country, right? There's about, like Foster had said, he's built a career search network into maybe 30, 35, 40 other metro areas. And so it's the most extensive career transition network in maybe the world. Yeah. And so a lot of resources, and you can find all the groups there.
And I see Chuck in the audience. I got to give a quick shout out to Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Oh, there's Hope.
Hope. And there's Hope. Chuck, BTNG, Business Technology Networking Group. So for those of you in technology that are looking for roles, go to BTNG or go to abtpdfw.org. We have a lot of acronyms in the technology field.
abtpbtng.
There we go. Awesome. Here. There. abtpdfw.org.
And Chuck, Chuck's a great friend, and come, through the network, has had us to those groups as well. And there's just so many resources out there. Yeah. It bewilders me that people are out there just, pounding the keyboard, doing it on their own, trying to,
You're not alone. I think that's the key thing. I think that's the key thing you guys do, actually, is you let people know they're not alone. Right. And I feel like of all, in addition to all the great advice, I think when people tune in every Wednesday at 3 p.m., they know that there's somebody on the other side kind of looking out for them, and that they're not alone on the job search, and you provide them such hope and inspiration. So thank you. On behalf of everyone in DFW and the US, thank you for what you guys do, really. I mean,
we love it. So thank everybody for being there. There's no show without the people, we got to have the people.
Well, that's the truth, yeah.
Shout out to Chuck and Meg Rose, who's our hype lady, who's watching right now. And Liberty, and who else we got?
I can't even get through all these comments. There's so many
Jacobs
of them.
And
Jason Hopper.
And Hope is behind the scenes, y'all. She is who you know, okay? She's behind the scenes. Who you
Hope.
Know. Yes.
These things are showing up so fast. I can't even click on all of them.
That's great.
No, there is no show without the audience, so we appreciate.
G, she's always on.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
G, I met G when she was in Detroit.
I love it.
G put out a video today. I think it was today.
Jason Hopper
put out a video, and it was very impressive. Liked it. She's getting out of her comfort zone.
Mike, I can't Materian. Yes.
Don't ask Trevor to say that.
Mediterranean.
Mike, we love you, bro.
Yeah, we do, man. We love you, Mike. Good people.
Oh, Greg, shout out to Bomb, right?
Bomb
Trevor,
video,
would that be one of your career resources?
That was one of the things, guys, that I got featured on Forbes for, was the Trojan horse strategy using Bomb in the job search. So Bomb's a tool that's being used in business. And I just said, well, you know what? If I was a job seeker, I would use it in my job search. And so I started teaching job seekers this. And I literally created the market for Bomb and video inside of job search. That didn't exist before. There was no market for that. And so I started teaching it, started training it as a concept. And then the results came back. The results blew my mind. It actually works. It's a Trojan horse in your job search. And what happens is you send that video email in, to the employer, and that email gets forwarded to the other decision makers. So now you've literally are face to face with the other decision makers in the company. It's amazing what happens with that tool. So bomb, shout out.
Love it. Foster, what would you say is the top career resource? I have one that I want you to share, but you say it first.
You know what I'm going to say. So we developed this as I was developing 20 years ago. We developed Search, the number 4, the letter U, INC.com. Search for Inc.com. And you know what I like about that is people that have landed jobs, we ask everybody to pay it forward. That's Mark's big thing. Guys, pay it forward, share, get out there and share this information. Well, a lot of people, when they land a job, they are decision makers. And when they need to hire somebody, guess what? They want to hire somebody from our very family. They want to hire somebody from the Career Search Network, CSN. And so we post those jobs on Search for You. Search for You is not going to have a load of jobs like a monster.com or something like that. But the ones that we do have are what we call networked jobs. The people that are responsible for that job that are reaching out saying, contact me, I want to help. Those people's direct information is at the bottom of each one of those postings. You will not see any, if all, of the apply online. I understand there's nothing wrong with apply online, but we want to add a little bit of closeness element. We want to add a little bit of that relationship element to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to that site and I'm looking for those jobs because you got the contacts, you got the direct connect. That's what I want.
Absolutely.
Forget even LinkedIn. I love you, LinkedIn, but I'm not applying on LinkedIn. I'm going to Search for You.
And then I believe there's a website.
Oh yeah.
That all of you guys have created.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who you know show.
Who you know
Yes, let me pull it up here.
Hey,
Tell
Fanny,
us,
you know what happened? When jobs are posted, no matter where they're posted at, probably 60% of the people that respond to those jobs are from the Career Search Network. That's how big it is now.
Yes.
So companies, that's something for you guys to think about. There's a community site, there's a community network that you can save yourself money. All of you guys talk about you want to save money all the time, and you keep running out there spending all this money with all of these other people that are charging $400, $500, $600 to do all this stuff.
Look at this. Look at you all. There you go, folks.
Look at the job father.
Mr. Ford,
see me in a suit.
Mark Elder, job father. Did they crop your head and put it on top of that, Foster?
No.
Or were you really wearing that? Were you wearing the tux?
I
told Foster. Look, I told Foster, I said, listen, we're going to do headshots. This is when our very first episode at Real News PR, they give headshots and stuff. And I said, okay, we gotta maximize the opportunity, right? Like they're doing shots. So I'm like, you got to dress up, Foster. I got to have you in the suit and tie. That little flower, I gave him that little flower and everything.
That little flower's cool.
Yeah, and yep. And then I had my editor crop all that in the job father to make it look like the job father.
I love it. Now, you guys, I want you to share with people some of these events and things that you do. Like you guys are just tireless. So to talk me through like the Career Transition Summit, your Job Resource Management Series, your Coach's Corner. What are all those about?
So the summit is where I'm going to teach you how to get seen, how to get noticed, how to get out of that black hole, right? I'm going to show you some strategies and leverage our network too. We're going to show you how to leverage our network. Hey, look at that. Craig Fisher. Look at that.
Oh, mutual friend.
So I'm going to show you guys how to get out of the black hole, how to use LinkedIn to get noticed, how to get attention and get the attention you deserve from those decision makers. And then the Job Resource Management Series is a 12-part webinar series partnered with Waldorf University. And I created that series. And they're little short nuggets, right? Like about 30, 45-minute webinars, okay? And it's a live series. Right now we're on the last one in the series. We're on webinar 12. And they're picking us up again to start it in the new year. So we'll be doing the Job Resource Management Series again. And it's start to finish, guys. This is like in depth. The Career Transition Summit is like a crash course, right?
Mm-hmm.
The resource series is like in depth. Let's get into it. Let's really talk. Let's but it's longer, right? So it's more in depth. And then Coach's Corner is a job networking group. It's extra support. It's for people that go through our training programs and maybe still have questions. Maybe they want to come back and they're like, I'm not really sure how to do this or do that. We work together. We answer those questions live and give some more support. And that's what Coach's Corner is for.
Well, in Coach's Corner also, we've had guests come in. We always keep it open to recruiters, right, in our network.
Right.
People that are bringing resources, right, to the Career Transition Network. So we want to have that as an interface as well, because when you go to a lot of the career transition groups, there's an agenda and there's a timeline, and people don't get a real kind of conversation in, and that's part of what Coach's Corner is too.
Yeah.
And right before we went live on this show, you were telling me about some 2021 plans.
Oh, we got a bunch of those.
Tell us about that. Come on,
we've
guys.
been working. Let me just tell you something.
Give us the sneak peek.
You see my face? I've been working. COVID got me working, y'all. Just saying. So one thing that we got coming is we got the mobile app coming soon.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Let me go in big.
Oh, there we go. Got the mobile app coming soon. Guys, you're going to be able to do so much from this app. I'm so excited about this. We got our partners. We got testimonials. You'll be able to connect, create a profile, chat. You'll be able to, have like a news feed like LinkedIn where you'll be able to post things. So you'll be able to post those underground jobs that we're talking about. There's stuff in there where you can see our previous shows. You can listen to the podcast version. You're going to be able to take notes within the app. You're going to be able to. There's just so much stuff here. I can't even tell you. There's it's the small groups. We're doing small groups, so you can sign up to be a small group leader. You can run a small group. You can sign up to join small groups. I mean, there's just so much stuff. It's awesome.
Wow. What are you excited for, Foster?
Most of the people that make a video, Trevor and Mark do a wonderful job of showing folks how to do that. Most of the folks, man, just about all of them, everybody that publishes theirs fearlessly, those are really, really good. Some of the people that some of the top, I guess, subject matter experts in the United States give credit a lot to Trevor. We've had, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of the lady's name that was on the show that was a big pull. The young lady, Trevor, who was the young lady in Florida?
Madeline Mann?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Shay Rowbottom?
Shay Rowbottom. Oh my, Shay gave Trevor so much credit for a lot of things that were done. And those guys are a team. Mark and Trevor don't exist without Mark. It happens like that. Mark is mature and he keeps me and Trevor in line, and it's absolutely wonderful. And Mark has just the best insight in the world. As we're talking through things on the show, you'll hear Mark interject. And when Mark interjects, it's like E.F. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the E.F. Hutton commercials. But when Mark talks, everybody shuts up. Everybody listens.
I love it. What are you excited for, Mark? And do you have a sneak peek to some of your 2021 guests?
We actually, it's going to be on the app. Sneak peeks. And also on our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel really hadn't got as much traction. This is actually kind of a funny story too. I won't take too long, but early on, I was like, man, we need to be on YouTube. Like YouTube is where we need to be at. And Trevor's like, no, it's all on LinkedIn Live. Like that's where we need LinkedIn. And so I think, through just some of the growth that we've seen, we really have identified YouTube as definitely a viable. And so Trevor's been, building that up. He's been great at, again, doing a lot of our marketing stuff. So we're seeing that built up. And the reason I brought that up, there's the YouTube channel, is because our guests, as they're getting ready to come on, if they send us a video, we'll put that up there so you can see the new guests that are coming up. Exciting for 2021 would be a potential new co-host for the show. I don't know who that could be.
I wonder.
Am I pointing in the right place there?
Yeah, get my finger going right.
A potential new co-host that might be in the works, because everybody loves Fanny.
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
If you don't like Fanny, it's something wrong with you.
Hold on, can you see this, Fanny? Can you see what that says?
Golden Mike
episodes. You're on it. You're on a Golden Mike episode.
So hold on. Let's click on that real quick. Let's go to our Golden Mike episodes and let's see who we got here. Who is this? Who the heck is that?
Look it.
Yeah, that's the Golden Mike episodes, baby.
I love it.
Hey Trevor, was it the show that we had Fanny and Julian on that you did the explosive mic?
Yeah, that was it.
Confetti.
We got our hand slapped for that one.
Blue dust everywhere.
We guys got in trouble.
There's blue dust everywhere. So the other thing that I'm excited about 2021 though is getting out and seeing people, getting back in front of you guys, giving some hugs.
I know,
right? Just being able to visit with y'all, because we did so much in person. And one of the things that I loved about our network and the Who You Know Nation is the career search at CityWorks, where we had hundreds of you guys out for the event.
Those. Yes.
And so we actually have a career transition summit that we actually were moving towards right when the pandemic hit.
I know.
And so we are still planning on launching that. It's going to be a quarterly event. It's going to be, again, a huge event that we want to have hundreds of people at. And so we're going to tie that in with kind of a hybrid of career search at CityWorks and our career transition summit. Teaching. There you go. It's got all that.
There's your Vanna White moment, Trevor.
Let me just
as soon as we can get in front of people, right, and gather in person again, let's get this vaccine out or whatever we need to do. Let's get back out, get some hugs, and get back together.
Okay. So, I mean, time flies, but I want to ask each one of you something quick, because you guys talk for a living, and you've had over 200 episodes. You have thousands and tens of thousands of fans. I want each of you to share one thing that you've never shared on your show before. What is something that people don't know about you? We'll start with Mr. Foster Williams. What is something that people do not know about you and you've never mentioned on a show?
I'm a NASA nerd, and I don't think I've ever said that. Some of you guys that are friends with me on Facebook understand, and you've seen some of the craziness with deep space Hubble telescope stuff. And you know what? Hey, when I was a recruiter, I recruited the COO to NASA, and that's how I got on their vendors list.
Wow.
There you go.
So I'm a nerd. Some of you guys know I'm a nerd.
I love it. NASA nerd, Mr. Foster Williams.
Yep, that's me.
Okay. Trevor, what is something that you've never shared on the show and that people don't know about you?
Man, you got me on that one, Fanny. I'm going to tell you that right now, because you know I can talk. So I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, let me go to the future, and I'll tell you another 2021, okay? And that way you guys get a sneak peek, okay? So Mark and I, we own a business. It's in financial services, right? And our broker is Nylife Security. So a lot of people are aware of this. So we just created an LLC, okay? And our new LLC, you'll be seeing a lot of this stuff coming forward, is Clear Path Wealth Strategies. That will be being released in the new year. And guys, so many more resources to help you, to provide more support to those financial aspects of it. I'm going to really
Clear Path Wealth
Strategies. Yeah. I've been in the lab working during COVID to put some really, really cool things together. A lot of technology, a lot of state-of-the-art stuff that's going to help you, and won't take a lot of your time, because that's the one objection people have when it comes to financial services. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to take a bunch of time for this. It's funny, you should, but people just don't want to. It's like they want Amazon, right? They want it now. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a system here to get you those answers that you want, that you have, those questions, and get them to you quickly. So
there you go.
There you go.
You heard it there. You heard it here first.
Heard it here first.
And Mark, what is something that people don't know about you?
Motorcycle.
Well, let's see. Well, yeah, we've talked about the motorcycles. Talked about, I'm a disabled. Well, people know I'm a veteran, but I'm a disabled veteran. So I actually, it was a medic in the Air Force. Served my country. I love my country. I love the United States. I'm adopted, so that might be another thing that people don't know. Is I was born in Seoul, Korea, left on a doorstep of a doctor that ran an orphanage, and I was adopted by my parents that lived in Illinois when I was 5 months old. So my parents picked me up from O'Hare International Airport.
Wow!
And I came on a big metal stork via Alaska from South Korea to Alaska to Chicago, and they picked me up there. And served my country, love being a veteran, and that's pretty much. When I was in high school, I had a 1 foot or more mohawk. So Sal, I know Sal Vargera's on here. Sal,
yes, Sal.
I saw you on there. His isn't really like a straight up mohawk, but
Sal's just too cool for school.
I had like it was like
had Sal at
off
HR
the screen. It's probably like So I didn't always spike it up.
Fanny,
just pulled.
Have you ever seen the movie Hook with Robin Williams? It's Peter Pan.
I haven't.
The movie Hook. Okay, so there's a character named Rufio.
You can kind of see him.
There's
see
a character.
His cool haircut.
Yeah, there's Sal. There's a character named Rufio. So I know you got your screen up. I don't know if you just want to type in Google real quick. Just type Rufio. Pull that image up. Boy, that's Rufio? Rufio. Yeah, type in Rufio Hook. Like just the hook. Hook. Rufio. And you go to images and you're going to see Mark Elder.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
Rufio.
Okay, I see it.
Oh,
we brought that out on the show yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rufio.
Oh my God.
Rufio.
Oh, look, you got the crop top too, Mark. Show a look.
Yes.
The color.
Yes. That's in the closet. It's hanging in the closet. I only pull that out on special days.
That's where Zeke got it. Zeke. That's where he got this look from right here.
Guys, you all are amazing. You all are true servant leaders. You lift us up. You make us laugh. You just provide us hope. You let us know we're not alone. And I can't thank you enough. And I'm sure everybody in the audience can't thank you all enough. And it's a joy to talk to you guys. It really is. It really is. Thank you.
The love feeling is mutual.
Thank you.
Because everybody loves
Everybody loves Fanny.
Everybody loves Fanny.
Everybody loves Fanny. The Fanny Network. Oh my goodness, I like that.
So as I wrap up the show, I want to thank all of you for your wonderful time. Thank you for doing all that you do. I mean, you blew up the comments. I didn't even have time to kind of pull up all the comments because it just kind of kept on coming. It just kept on coming. So thank you. And for all of you out there, we have, what is today? December 3rd? We have 28 more days of December. Make it amazing. Go out with a bang. Don't give up hope. Companies are still hiring, right? You just heard them say last week there were 30 landings. So don't give up hope. And my hashtag, shine your light and share your message, share your voice, share your gifts with the world through video. Thank you, everyone. Do it scared. Virtual hug.
Do it scared.
Thank
Mark,
you, everyone.
do the Mark. There it is.
Hey, that's very appropriate because it's Christmas and it's Home Alone season. It's Home Alone season.
What's the guy? Hold on, real quick before we go. What's the guy from? Is it South Park? No, not South Park. The other cartoon that's kind of
Simpsons.
Bad. No. Not South
something
Park.
dad, something dad, right?
The one where he goes, giggity, giggity.
Oh, Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Family Guy. Quagmire.
Okay, and with that, I'm going to close it out.
Bye.